Immigration. You open any newspaper, any news site, any YouTube video, it is a hot topic. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the incredible book, The Good Immigrant, edited by Nikesh Shukla, and some of the main things that I learned from reading this book. So keep watching. Hey everyone, this is Keshav. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And this channel is all about productivity, focus, and making a difference, mastering your mindset, all that good stuff mixed into a blender. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing the key things that I got from the book, The Good Immigrant. Now, if you can hear me talk properly, if this is the first video you've seen, smash the subscribe button down below and make sure you ring the bell icon so you know when new videos come out. And let's get into it. So the first thing that I really enjoyed about this book was the varied perspectives that I've gained. Now, as a person of color, there were some things that I could really relate to that people had talked about, from things like struggling to belong in either being British or Asian, and straddling two cultures, as it said in the book, but belonging to neither. So trying to fit into being British, but also being a brown person at the time, or an Asian person, or however you want to label it, at the same time. And seeing some of the different perspectives that I didn't know about. I learned so much about, for example, some of the subtle nuances of different people's immigrant experience in just the UK. One of the most interesting examples I got from the book was reading Nikesh Shukla's essay, I think it was, and he talks about how he's been to so many schools and run creative writing workshops where he's asked children to write a story, and very, very, very few times, hardly at all, has a child who is a person of color written a story about a protagonist that is also the same color as them, that they're writing about characters that are white as the main protagonist. So this socialization is starting so young. Where do they pick these things up? The second key takeaway, and this was consistent across most of the essays, was the idea that we're never allowed to be complex individuals. People are always boiled down to the hypersexualized black woman, or the bearded man who's brown with a backpack and a beard, and simplified into these very small boxes that they have to fit into. And again, reading about these things, like Riz Ahmed's experience at the airport being interrogated despite being, a well-established actor at this point, really hit this home. And I actually want to share a quick little quote from the book here to give you an example of what I'm talking about. The fetishization of the sexuality of black people comes from centuries of dirty, dark shade. It starts with sleazy old jokes that black men have huge cocks, or that black women are hypersexual, and it festers to become something toxic and sinister. This continues now, mostly unquestioned, with the sexual objectification of women, rounded fat bottoms and full lips all across the media industry. But once the canned laughter dies down, or the fashion shoot is done and dusted, and you take a cold, hard look at the history of these jokes and stereotypes, it all comes from a shade so bleak and so ignorant that it has a subhuman subtext to it. Brown people for sale in a human pet shop window. These are really strong and clear words, but as I read them, they make sense. And the third lesson, which I kind of mentioned at the beginning of the video, was how we are continually reminded of our difference. That even if you change your accent so that it's not too white and it's not too Asian, you still are judged on your difference. And so you end up in this nothingness where you become an other. If you've not heard that term before, what it's referencing here is that you have this group of people who are normal, and then you have the people who are others, who are different in some way because they have a huge black cock, or because they have a hypersexual character that's been fed to you by the media. And these essays, if this is something new to you, if this is something that you have not been through, if you're someone who's white, this is a book that you have to read. And I was looking at the review in The Independent, and same thing, the guy said, I wish I could put this in every single household in the UK, because it really changes the perspective of how we talk about immigrants as dirty, as leeches on the system, and humanizes them once again to understand these are the struggle that people are going through, even in the UK, one of the most developed countries in the world. And once we understand those nuances, we're able to better understand, one, how to empathize with these things, and number 2, most importantly, how to change them. So if you've read the book, let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it. I would definitely, hands down, recommend every single person watching definitely go and check it out, definitely give it a read, and then come back to this video and tell me what you think. And as always, even in areas like this, yes, I make videos about personal development, but these things are just as important. I don't see any other personal development YouTuber or self-help motivational speaker person talking about these things. And you can't avoid them because this is the structure that we are living in. And if we ignore them, we are shackled as well. So when I say accept only the best and nothing less, this is also what I mean. So go read the damn book. Peace.